All right, good morning, guys. It's Wednesday. How we all doing? I'm feeling really good again, guys. I wanted to read this real quick. Psalms 37:4. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and He shall give you the desire of your hearts. All right, guys. I have a lot of good things to talk about to you today. They were put onto me yesterday. I was really looking and seeking, and this morning I kind of just put everything together. And here we go, guys. Here we go. So August, what's today? The 27th. All right, guys. We the people, we have power. We are just unaware. But with God, we can do all things, and that's scripture. How many of us say we are believers, but we don't fully believe because we don't practice our faith? We don't fully believe because we don't practice our faith. See, what stops us from doing anything, what stops us from doing anything in life is the lack of belief. See, we can't visualize ourselves in our minds doing or being that type of person that we don't do it. We don't even try. We don't even go for it. Generational curses have literally basically just like took that from us, you know? We are in an identity crisis. People don't know who they are, so they don't know how to act. I'm going to keep on repeating that because that is the center, that is the core, that is the truth, and the truth is going to set you free, guys. So, like I said, we can't picture ourselves doing it. Where does it happen first, right? In the battleground. What's the battleground? The battleground is the mind. We talk about this all the time as well. I just want you to be very aware that that's exactly where everything happens. That's where your faith will grow. That's where your belief will start to get stronger. So, why can't we believe? Because people live without God. Instead, you guys, false idols. He talks about that in the 10 Commandments, right? The 10 Commandments are here to protect us from auto-destruction. So, false gods, alcohol, drugs, sex, and the rest. Anything that makes you feel pleasure that isn't right, that's basically what you're making your God. And that hits deep. It hits deep. It could be food. It could be overeating. You know, overeating, that'll get to you. All right. One of the things that I want to talk about, and this is really, really good, guys. You see a lot of people day and age that we're at right now, our audience, you think it's social media? You think that's your biggest audience? No. Your biggest audience is the divine. It's God. He's the one that sees you behind the camera. He's the one that sees your every step. You can pretend to be somebody that you're not on camera, but then, like, there's certain people that know you, but no one can know you better than God. No one can know you better than God. Let that sink in for you real quick. So ask yourself, what are your actions when you're not seen? What are those actions? You see, sometimes when people are pretending to be somebody that they're not, they're holding up a mask on social media to become or to act like a person that they're not, because they want to be liked. But this is what happens when you want to be liked so much that you pretend to be somebody that you're not. You tend to attract the wrong people into your life, and guess what? You're never going to be happy. You're never going to be happy because you attract the wrong people. You think that because you have carne asadas, or you have you have parties and you have all these people that are just basically gossiping about you. That's all they're doing. Been there, done that. People be talking. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful of the people you surround yourself with. Alright, so Wonder why you can't control your actions. You know, you want to do better, but you relapse. You relapse all the time. You go back to your old ways because you don't have self-control over yourself, over your actions, over your thoughts. You don't. And I'm going to tell you guys why. And it's because your spirit is weak. And that's why you go for the weed to stop because you want to relax, supposedly. You're escaping from your reality, from the reality that you created for yourself. You see, when you live aligned, when you love the person that you're becoming every day, when you love the life that you have, yes, you have work to do. Of course you do. You have work to do. I have work to do. I'm working on it. But when you love you don't want to escape from it. You actually enjoy your kids. You enjoy your home. You enjoy your peace. You seek God. That, my friend, that's completely a whole different vibe. That's a whole different frequency. It's called enlightenment, which I believe is at the top of the frequency chart. You guys want the frequency chart? Hit me up, DM me. You can also find it on Google if you don't want to ask. Just Google high frequency chart and you'll get that. Be aware of where you're at. And the next step is literally right there. You can jump a couple of them. You can go on to the next one and go from there. All right, guys. So why is your spirit weak? Every time you feed the flesh, your spirit gets weaker. Every time you feed your flesh, your spirit gets weaker. You're shutting it down. You're basically telling you, like, shut up, I don't want to listen to you. And that's how your spirit gets weaker. You see, but that's the people that, like, they focus on the end, right? Like they want the end desire right away. You don't focus on the journey. You don't focus on the roots. You focus on the fruits. That's gonna hit you hard. Yes, a lot of people want the fruit, but they don't focus on the roots. They don't focus. So the roots, let me tell you, the roots is the spirit. You focus on the fruit. But if you take care of the spirit, which is the roots, your fruit is going to be so much better. It's not going to be like artificial, fake. It will actually fulfill you if you focus on the spirit. The spirit is going to be basically your roots, guys. Come on. When you kill the roots and just I'm sorry, hold on. When you no, that's not it. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. So auto control is part of the fruits that you basically benefit. So when you take care of the roots, you get the good fruit, and that becomes your auto control. So if you don't have auto control, it's because you have not taken care of the roots. You have polluted yourself, and that's why you're just looking. You're looking for that sugar rush. You're looking to oversatisfy. You see, this is one thing that it says in the Bible and it says in Proverbs. And when I didn't understand it before, but when I started to jump on my program and I started to do macros and to start sacrificing, and although I did struggle a lot, like when I started to like downsize on the food and I just started to make better decisions over what I ate, and I read this in the Bible that said, God says like I can't remember the exact words, but he says foolish, like you guys worship your stomachs. And that's scripture. Like that can be a God too, like a God that you worship. When you go based off your emotions, your feelings, you're worshiping your emotions and your feelings, and know that they're not always right. They're based off your mind. They're based off the emotions that you feel. They're not always right. And that's why you get yourself into so much trouble. So much trouble based off your emotions. based off your stomachs, based off the worldly desires. You step all over people to get what you want, and that gets you in trouble. Not only does it get you in trouble with the spirit, it gets you in trouble with your family members. It gets you in trouble with your spouse. It gets you in trouble with the people around you. Then the gossip starts. That's deep right there. That is really, really deep. All I can say is seek God. He will help you. And remember, oh, I like this so much. Your biggest audience is divine. See, this is what keeps me going. When there's no shares, when there's no likes, when there's no approval from people, when people are just looking, and then the mind starts to be like, oh, look at you, God. Nobody even cares about what you're saying. Nobody this, nobody. But who could that be? You see, that's not God's voice. That's the devil's voice. Peter, that was God's right hand. He was with them for years, and he was also tempted. The devil would also try to get to him. Sometimes even use him. You know? What makes you think that we're not going to be tempted? That we're not going to be used? That we're not going to be confused? That we're not going to be lied to? And most of the time you guys are worried about somebody else lying to you, but you're not even aware that you're lying to yourself. Shit, that's deep. Excuse the language. I'm working on that as well. So that's what keeps me going. What keeps me going when the motivation leaves is that God's always watching. And He's always watching me. And just like I give the message out to you guys that He's rooting for you, He's rooting for me. I know this because it feels right. It feels right. I asked myself this morning, like, I don't have anything. I didn't have anything. I didn't know how everything was going to come out. And I trust that God always comes through. He always does, and He always delivers. Best believe that. Best believe that. I got through it pretty quick, but all I can say, guys, I guess the main thing, if I would say, is that God is your biggest audience. The reason you don't have self-control is because you're focusing more on the fruit than on the roots. And, oh, yes, I remember now. Guys, God is always willing to forgive. You see, if you're still here, it's because you have time. You have time to basically confess and basically, like, honestly ask Him for a new life. He'll give it to you. You know what? A lot of people can talk. I honestly, I know what I'm living through right now. I know what I'm going through. I know what I've overcome. And I know that I'm on the right path. And the fact that I'm here with you guys and I'm sharing my videos with you guys, this little kid that was so insecure of himself, to get behind camera, to tell his story, to be transparent, to serve God, that means you guys can do it too. You just have to surround yourself around the right people. Quit looking where you've been looking, because it's not, if you haven't changed and you're doing the same thing, that's insanity. You're not gonna change. You need awareness. You need to detach. I talked about this the other day, right? The movie of Spider-Man 3, and then you have that Venom goo that needs Spider-Man to live, right? So when he jumps on his suit and he starts changing his mind, and he starts becoming a different person. Well, this is the enemy that needs you to survive. He lives within you if you allow him to. And he starts screwing everything up, and then everything goes bad. And you ask yourself why. You see, Spider-Man went with like a scientist, and that scientist told him, hey, you know what, this thing it needs you and it's feeding off of you. Well, think about that right now. The enemy, and I'm telling you, the enemy needs you to live off of you. But you have the power. Like I said in the beginning, what is it? We the people, we have the power. You, the people, you have the power. Just be aware of that. Start making little changes, guys. Little changes. And watch your life change. You want a good book? James Clear, The Power of Atomic Habits. That's a good book to start off with. You want little habits, but you have to be intentional, guys. You got to know that you're not going to feel like it, and you got to know that you want to do it, and that you're going to make sacrifices. God requires you to sacrifice. Just like in the Old Testament, they would sacrifice, animals towards God. We're not in that time anymore. God's asking us to sacrifice bad habits, bad thoughts. That thing that needs you to survive, that that serves you no good. All right, guys. Happy Wednesday. Stay tuned for tomorrow's message. I think today was really good. I honestly like it. I'm going to be going back to it. But, all right, guys. Thank you very much. Happy Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. It's the best time of the week. Let's continue to be aware. And let's continue to start making little steps, baby steps in the right direction. All right, guys. Happy Wednesday.